Hey everybody, it's ModelcarNick here today, and we have two 911 GT3. This is the 992 generation, and I have two colors for you guys today. This is the green variant, obviously, and the blue variant. So I'll focus on maybe one of these, and then we'll go over some of the details, features, and my overall opinions on this particular model. So overall, this model came out about 2 years ago. You can get these at Sam's Club or Costco for about $18 after taxes. Absolutely incredible model. And let's just show you the specs on these. So this one's finished in this really nice green. It's not a metallic paint at all, as you can see. It's just kind of a nice gloss green. And then same with this one. This is supposed to emulate shark blue. And to note, this one actually does have a blue ring around the wheel, and this one does not. They both come with yellow brake calipers, and I believe there are two other colorways that Maisto has released. There is a black variant, and then there's a red variant, and I believe there's a few others. There's a red one, and then potentially an orange one, if I remember correctly. But a lot of companies make these GT3 RSs. There's Mini Champs and Norev. I believe that they both made these in Spark. But this is by far the cheapest variant you'll be able to find. So let's just take a look at this model overall. Starting up here at the front, obviously we have this pretty big license plate holder right here. I do not like these on this car because they are kind of molded into the body itself, this license plate holder, and if these license plate stickers were to fall off, it would just look kind of weird. So not really a big fan of that, but they are on both of these cars. Coming up here, we have the Porsche emblem right here, which is actually just a sticker and not a badge, but that's like the real car, so no problems there. And as you can see, this kind of has like an interesting hood design where there's two kind of front nostrils down here, finished kind of in this fake mesh right there. And then there's kind of like a hood bulge coming on both these sides and a little indent right there. So that's what the front looks like. The headlights are pretty good. Nothing really too crazy though. These are kind of just the standard Porsche headlights with the little kind of four running daytime lights around there, and then the main high beam sitting in the center. So moving down here towards the lower front of the car, we have another big grille finish kind of with that fake plastic mesh right there. And then just kind of a matte plastic around the rest of the front of the car, which is standard for the real car. They use kind of the plastics in the front for like lightweight savings and everything. But, you know, I think the front of this car looks really good. And just for the price, you know, I mean, you're not going to get any real mesh grills at this price point, but I think it looks pretty decent for what it is. But coming here down at the side, here's another look at the blue car as well right next to it. But yeah, just a really simple design, nothing really too crazy. This front splitter kind of follows up through the kind of the side, wheel liner. But the wheels themselves are a 10-spoke wheel with a center wheel lock cap right there in the middle. As you can see, that it says GT3 in the center of it, and then yellow brake calipers, and then behind there it looks like just regular rotors. They aren't drilled or slotted or anything. So you know, nothing really too crazy going on back there, but it does look fairly decent. The tires themselves, they don't have any like writing on the sidewall, but the tread on them is pretty good, as you can see, but nothing really too crazy going on, so I'll keep moving forward. So the mirrors themselves are kind of a two-tone, and that's for both cars. They have that black underlay and then the body paint color on top. But looking at the side of the car, there's no like chrome window strip. It's all just kind of black around there, but it does look pretty good, and so does the glass on these models. This is a pretty new model, so it's not scratched or faded or anything like that yet, so that is good. But the windshield wipers themselves, pretty nondescript, and we'll take a peek at that interior towards the end of the video. But moving on down, we have the door handle, as you can see, pretty nondescript as well. But moving towards the rear, as you can see, this car has a pretty wide rear end, and it looks absolutely incredible. And here's a shot of the blue one as well. So pretty much identical, no real differences on these cars. They are the same model, they're just in different colors. So moving back towards here, the rear taillight itself, it does have like the little Porsche script within the taillight. It is kind of hard to see, but it is there. It says Porsche right across here. And I did also forget to mention that this is an opening model, but since we're facing the rear of the car right now, I will mention that the rear deck lid unfortunately does not open, which is kind of unusual because I know some of the other Porsche models that Maisto has released, like this GT3 RS 4.0, does have a opening rear deck lid, but this one unfortunately does not. So we'll put that one back here and focus back on the 992. But the rear wing on these cars is pretty special. As you can see, they kind of have that swan neck style to it, and then kind of a matte black plastic that holds the wing up and on the fins themselves. But on the top of it, it's just painted body color and no real things to mention underneath the wing or anything like that. But this rear spoiler kind of follows through the rear of the car below the main spoiler, so that is kind of cool that there is kind of like a double spoiler going on here. But looking underneath the spoiler itself, you get a nice little, I think that's a 4.0 badge. I could be totally wrong, but that's what it looks like. But yeah, nothing really too crazy going on down there. The rear diffuser on this car is pretty sweet. It does have kind of these little fins that run down the side, and then obviously the pretty standard dual exhaust that these RS, or not RS models, but the GT products and most Porsches come with. But looking through the rear, you can see the roll cage, and it is just matte black plastic. Same on this car, as you can see, but it does look pretty sweet. But yeah, that's kind of the rear of this model. Honestly, just a pretty good looking car, but we'll take a peek at this interior real quick, and then I'll go ahead and open up the front of the car. So let me try to do that if I can. Here we go. Oops. I always have a really difficult time opening up one of these with one hand, but there it is. So here's what the model looks like fully opened. As you can see, it looks really good. I really like this green colorway. I think the shark blue one also looks really good, but this was the launch spec, and this one's just a little bit more unique for me. But yeah, here's what the front looks like. As you can see, these kind of like the mesh I was talking about that sits right here is actually stuck onto the kind of the hood of the car. So if you close it, as you can see, there's a little gap in there that you can see the vents through. But the trunk itself, pretty undescript, nothing really too crazy going on under there. So I'll go ahead and close that up and we can see the interior. So these do have like kind of these bucket seats finished in carbon fiber on the back side, as you can see right there. So pretty good detail on that. The steering wheel itself does look fairly decent. It's just really dark in there. Everything's black, and they didn't really add any colors in here. There is a nice little chrome strip surrounding the console itself. As you can see, it kind of follows through and it runs all the way down the side of the car. The gauge cluster itself, though, behind there is kind of hard to see. It looks like they just got a sticker on there, and it's kind of faded. So not really too much detail on there. There's a bunch of buttons all over the car, as you can see everywhere, and on the steering wheel itself. But just honestly, a pretty cheap looking interior. No carpets on the floors or anything like that. And let me try to get you guys a view of what the passenger side looks like. So there it is. Yeah, honestly, just a pretty boring interior, but I think they did a pretty good job, especially with the carbon back seats. I mean, that is a kind of cool detail that they added in, but you know, nothing really too much else going on in there. So overall, though, I really like this model. You know, for 18 bucks to get a nice 992 GT3 in the collection, I think is totally worth it. If you were to get these on the secondhand market, though, I would probably think they'd go around anywhere from $30 to $45. I wouldn't really necessarily recommend paying that because these are still readily available at your local Costco or Sam's Club during the time of making this. But yeah, I mean, you know, a really decent model. Overall, though, I'd probably give it a solid 6 out of 10 just because, you know, it's just not going to be as good as like an Auto Art or like an MR or any other top quality brands. This is, you know, pretty much as cheap as you can get. So, you know, overall, I do recommend it, but don't expect anything too crazy when it comes to these particular models. So yeah, that's kind of this review as a whole. There's another look with the 99, I believe 7 next to it, so all the Porsches together. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll have some more reviews posted out in the future. So I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.